Hi everyone, in this video I am going to discuss NMOS fabrication process. So in the NMOS fabrication process there are several steps involved. First of all, NMOS stands for N-channel enhancement MOSFET. MOS stands for metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. So the processing is carried out on a thin wafer cut from a single crystal of silicon of high purity, into which the required p-type of impurities are introduced as the crystal is grown. Such wafers are typically 75 to 150 millimeter in diameter and 0.5 millimeter thick and are doped with suppose boron, some p-type of impurity to impurity concentration of 10 power 15 by centimeter cube to 10 power 16 by centimeter cube, giving resistivity in the approximate range of 25 ohm centimeter to 2 ohm centimeter. For fabricating of the NMOS, a very much clean p-type of substrate is to be chosen. So this is P substrate. Suppose for NMOS, P substrate is chosen. For PMOS, N substrate is chosen. Then doping will be done with the impurities differently, like phosphorus. Some N type of impurities will be chosen. In the step 2, that is oxidation. So this is a thick layer of oxide, silicon dioxide. So the thickness is 1 micrometer. It is grown all over the surface of the wafer to protect the surface from contamination. It generally acts as an insulating material onto which some other steps will be carried out. Some other layers will be formed and fabrication will be further carried out. Then photoresist application, third step. The surface is now covered with a photoresist which is deposited onto the wafer and spun to achieve an even distribution of the required thickness. So this is photoresist, which is a radiation sensitive polymer. So this step onwards, photolithography takes place. The photoresist layer is then exposed to UV light. So this is UV light. Photoresist layer is exposed to UV light to make the photolithography take place. So the light ray is made to pass through the mask, and so that some portion of the mask which allows the light behaves in one way, the other portion which is stopping the light behaves in another way. That depends on the type of photoresist used. Suppose it is positive photoresist, then the portion of the mask which is allowing the light becomes soluble. So this portion becomes soluble, this portion becomes soluble. The other portion which is stopping the light becomes hardened, polymerized. Whereas in the negative photoresist, it happens in the opposite way. The portion which allows the light becomes hardened. The portion which stops the light becomes soluble. So here in this figure, it is shown as a negative photoresist. So we can see this window opening. So that window is formed because that portion is stopping the light so that it becomes soluble, and the portion which allows the light becomes hardened, polymerized. So this window is open due to the photolithography. So so the areas which are shielded, by the mask becomes soluble, so that we are able to open a window. Then further photolithography process will be there, like removal of the oxide, removal of the photoresist and all. Ultimately this window is opened. Then deposition of the polysilicon. So polysilicon is a material used for forming the gate. Previously people used to use metal for gate formation. So this is a metal oxide semiconductor. In that metal is used for forming the gate. Oxide is some thin oxide layer beneath the gate. Then semiconductor. Semiconductor is a material used for forming the source and drain. So first of all we need to form the gate. So gate can be formed using the polysilicon. So polysilicon layer consists of heavily doped polysilicon deposited by the chemical vapor deposition process, CVD technique. So in the fabrication of fine pattern devices, precise control of thickness, impurity concentration and resistivity is very much needed. So further photoresist coating and masking allows polysilicon to be patterned, and then the thin oxide is removed to expose areas into which n type of impurities are to be diffused to form the source and drain. In this portion, source and drain are to be formed. So for that we follow the diffusion. Diffusion is achieved by heating the wafer to a high temperature and passing a gas containing the dopant. So here source and drain are formed using the N plus impurities, because it is a NMOS. Source and drain are formed by N type of material. Example, phosphorus. Suppose it is a PMOS. We are discussing about a PMOS. Then N substrate will be taken and on which P plus diffusion is to be done. For that boron, like that we will be choosing the material. So here diffusion is carried out. So diffusion is carried out and we will be forming the source and drain. So next thick oxide is grown overall. So again thick oxide is grown overall, silicon dioxide, and then masked with photoresist and etched to expose selected areas of the polysilicon gate and drain and source areas where connections are to be made. So again photolithography is done to open these windows. So photolithography will be done some 20 to 30 times in a fabrication process. Whenever we want to open some windows, we will be using this process. All those steps are not shown for the sake of simplicity. Then these contact cuts are made and we will be depositing the metal so that we can connect to the outside world. Finally, the whole chip uh, should be sealed. So we need to protect the whole chip from the contamination. So like this we will be doing the fabrication steps. So same discussion applies for PMOS except the change of the, instead of N substrate we should choose P substrate. Polysilicon and thin oxide deposition is same, and the diffusion will be of opposite type of material. Here we are using N plus diffusion. There we will be choosing the P plus diffusion. It is an enhancement MOSFET, so we don't have any channel here. So for depletion MOSFET, there will be channel also in the beginning. So for PMOS, also enhancement MOSFET, the process is same. For depletion MOSFET, channel also should be formed. So let me summarize the process. So processing takes place in a field doped silicon crystal wafer on which a thick layer of silicon dioxide is grown. Then mask 1 is used to pattern silicon dioxide to expose the silicon surface in areas where diffusion for source and drain are to be formed. So deposit thin oxide overall for the reason to form the diffusion mask. So thin oxide and thick oxide both are different. Thick oxide is the field oxide which is deposited throughout for preventing from the contamination. Whereas thin oxide is specifically used for forming a thin-ox beyond the gate to provide high input impedance. The thin oxide layer is used. It is a metal oxide semiconductor. That oxide is nothing but the thin oxide. The oxidation process is also different. We follow the wet oxidation process for growing the thick oxide, whereas we follow dry oxidation process for growing the thin oxide. Then mask 2 is used to pattern the ion implantation within the thin-ox region where depletion mode devices are to be produced. Then mask 3 is used to deposit polysilicon overall, then pattern using mask 3. So using the same mask, we need to remove the thin oxide layer where it is not covered by polysilicon. Then diffusion of N plus regions into the areas where thin oxide has been removed. Transistor drain and source are thus self-aligning with respect to gate structure. In mask 4, the thick oxide overall and then H for contactors. For mask 5, metal deposition and pattern with mask 5. Mask 6, overall protection, overglassing. So these are all the steps of NMOS fabrication process. Thank you, Ananda.